Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is March 5th, 2010 on this Friday edition. For the next 52 minutes, we're joined by a man who is in massive demand, and we appreciate him joining us once a month, Gerald Celente. He's a big part of my two latest films, Fall of the Republic and the Obama Deception in the last year. And unfortunately, the predictions he made in the films have now come true. Films available at Infowars.com. We will put his Trends Research website up on screen for PrisonPlanet.tv viewers. We thank God he got out of Chile safely. He's got a great tan. I saw him there on the video connection to New York. So looks like his vacation turned out okay. Gerald Celente, great to have you here with us.
Well, thank you. And listen, I want to mention, Alex, that the reviews we keep getting from the Obama Deception and the Fall of the Republic are astounding. And I congratulate you for putting on and putting the work into, I know the hard work that you do, to making two great documentary films that, again, we just keep getting compliments on day in and day out.
Well, thank you for being part of the films, Gerald. And, of course, we've interviewed you for the next Fall of the Republic that's coming out as well. Again, founder of the Trends Research Institute in 1980, Gerald Celente is a pioneer trends strategist. He is author of the national bestseller Trends 2000 and Trend Tracking, Far Better Than Megatrends, and that's what Warner Books said, and publisher of the internationally circulated Trends Journal newsletter. What's the best way for people to get your Trends newsletter?
Trendsjournal.com. That's trendsjournal.com. They could go to our website. And I also want to make it very clear that we know that people are going through difficult times. So we have a...
Oh, we just lost our video connection. We may do phone with him because that's been happening. Let's try to reconnect. Well, let's do video one more time and see if it works. In 5 years, it'll be crisp, totally clear video. It looks pretty clear today, and it'll never cut out. But these new technologies, and it seems like just regular web phone would be better, just regular webcam or something. I don't know about this Skype. Russia Today and British TV's always having me on via Skype, and we have the same thing happen from our end. So we're going to continue with Gerald Celente, breaking down the trends here. Again, joining us live on the radio and at PrisonPlanet.tv. And I do want to remind you that, again, Fall of the Republic, Obama Deception, these films break down the full spectrum of what's happening. And people need to get them. Okay, Gerald, sorry, the video connection fell out. You were saying that you had a special offer for those that normally can't afford the Trends Journal?
Right. These are very difficult times. We want people to be prepared. So we make it available to just about anyone that could afford it within their means.
Okay, let's cut to the chase here. What happened in Chile? You were there for the big, massive earthquake. And then let's get into what's currently happening with Greece and the world and the banks.
Well, what's important about Chile, being that I escaped alive, is that one of the top trends that we listed in our Trends Journal for 2010 is neo-survivalism. The systems are breaking down at every level, and people need to be aware of this because when the worst happens, they have to be prepared. You don't wait for things to happen. If they do happen, you must take the most advanced measures you can to survive. Physical, psychological, you name it. And it really went into practice in what happened to us in Chile. We got there on a Thursday night. Saturday morning, I was jolted out of bed. I felt the first tremors. I was with one of my colleagues who were on a South American tour, fact-finding mission. And, knowing it was an earthquake zone, I immediately, just put on my pants, put on my shoes, grabbed my jacket. By the time I grabbed my jacket, we're on the 14th floor of the Crown Plaza Hotel. The television went flying, drawers flew out of their bureaus, chairs toppling over, lamps. Alex, I was the first guy down 14 flights of stairs. And what's astonishing is that there was only one other person besides my pal that was right behind me. And that was somebody, praying in Spanish as they were coming down the stairs. The point being is that after the earthquake, we started interviewing people. Most people froze, either went under their desks, they went into bathtubs, hid under doorways. They called the front desk. They waited for tour operators. They did not take proactive measures. They didn't prepare for the worst. And then, I'm cutting through the story very quickly, because when we finally got outside and we wanted to get away from the building, all of a sudden, this is 4 a.m. in Chile. The Latins are out late at night having a good time. 50, 60 guys come screaming down the streets, knocking over everybody and anything in their way and mugging them. So we had to use a lot of defensive measures to stay alive. And I'm mentioning this because these are the kind of conditions that exist today. It's the products that you sell on your radio station. It's about that solar panel. It's about having that excess of food in the eventuality of a terrorism 2012, which is on the horizon. It's about those food shortages. It's about preparing for the worst. If the worst doesn't happen, great, you were prepared. But if the worst happens and you're not prepared, guess what? Jack, you're dead.
In fact, years ago, you moved out of New York City and moved to a rural area and have been getting prepared and predicted the financial collapse in 2008 that you believe, and now they're openly saying in the news, will lead to total collapse in the next 3 years. And again, I don't think of myself as a tough guy. I know you don't. We're just regular guys. But 5 years ago, 6 years ago now, I was in a restaurant, a La Madeleine restaurant, and I went in the bathroom. My wife and son are outside eating in the main area, and I come out, and everybody's screaming and yelling, and I had to fight through people when a woman was turning purple choking, and they got mad at me when I started doing a Heimlich, saying, no, wait for 911, wait for the ambulance, and they were just shouting, call 911, call 911, call 911, call 911. And they were, and then this big piece of bread coughed out of her mouth. They started thanking me, but I figured I could be sued. So I grabbed my family and fled. 30 years ago, half the men in there would have gone over to do a Heimlich. It was like bizarre. At first, bad that I was going to try to save her. And then I was a hero once I did it. And it's like learned helplessness. People just hide in their bathtubs or they call the police. I hear these 911 calls where a woman calls the police when a killer's coming in to rape them. And then it's bizarre to have a gun. It's bizarre to know how to fight. It's like people in Nazi Germany running into pits to be shot. Or I saw the execution videos from Nigeria where they were killing people and then directing them into the street to shoot more. These guys could have run into an alley or got away. They marched up under orders, knowing they were going to be killed, and laid down and submitted. I don't understand this, Gerald. He dropped again. Okay, we'll try one more time, and then that's it. Yeah, let's do phone. He didn't even hear my story there. But there he is in an earthquake, and I would imagine this was mainly Westerners in the hotel, from what it sounds like, and everyone is just submitting. Everyone is just groveling. Everyone is just in a catatonic fetal position. But the criminals, they knew when there was an earthquake, it's time to steal. Within minutes, they were out stealing. And see, that's the government. Never let a good crisis go to waste. Never let a good crisis go to waste. Okay, Gerald, you're back with us. I was telling the story of a restaurant watching a woman choke and people trying to stop me from saving her, saying, call 911.
Yeah. The other thing, too, is when all this violence broke out, there are no police around. You're on your own. And the other element of neo-survivalism is to belong to a group. Like-minded people. Start talking and thinking about this. I'm a close combat martial artist. We contacted our master, John Perkins, at attackproof.com, and he sent out a global SOS. Within sight of hours, we had direct connections to the embassy. There were people in Chile and Argentina offering lodging and funds. And one person contacted us and gave us an escape route and strategy to get to Mendoza, Argentina. And so it's those kind of things, having a network of people that you could rely on, because we only were able to go so far, and then the others helped us go further.
So again, it's about having your own community, and you're part of a community that's all over the world, and it was invaluable.
Exactly. Well, I wouldn't be here today. I would still be stuck over there. The airport was down. The roads were destroyed. You know, so we had to use another strategy, and it's that community. And by the way, all things are connected. You know, it goes back to the economy. How are we going to have a strong economy? Well, guess what? You know, I'm a believer in the golden rule. Those who have the gold rule. And if we're going to send all our money to China, guess who's going to rule us? If we start doing business with each other, start being a community of Americans again, guess what? We'll survive and thrive. It's all connected.
Well, I mean, what do you call this? Learned helplessness? Because 50 years ago, if a woman was choking, most people would go over to do a Heimlich. 50 years ago, I would imagine Westerners in that hotel would have gotten up and got out. Why do people wait for someone else to save them?